am not a thief.
Yo, she just stole that from me.
It is what it is. Make your son a tough man.
Have you ever seen a TikTok, or really like any kind of social media post in general, that essentially like unlocks a new kind of human for you? In the sense that like you see a person exhibiting behavior that you didn't even know was a possibility. Like in a bad way. Like in Ocarina of Time when you fuck up Ganondorf and then he comes back as Ganon and you're just sitting there like, I didn't even know that was an option. Yeah, that's kind of what you're going to experience today. Guys, we are living in a time where less things than ever are uniting us as humans. And I really do mean as humans, you know, things that transcend race, religion, politics, things that no matter where you go, no matter who you're speaking to, you can find common ground with another human by expressing. Those sort of things just don't really seem to exist all that often these days, but there is one thing, one constant that I think will follow our species until we eventually go extinct, and that is the universal agreement that people who steal things at sports games from children are losers. The only people who disagree with that are the losers who do it. I'm sure everybody's seen a clip like this before, you know, some kids at a baseball game, he catches a baseball, and some grown-ass man walks over and rips it out of their glove. It's really like one of the only things I can immediately think of that's not like something genuinely bad, like a crime or something that's universally looked down upon. And I think that some people might look down at that behavior worse than some crimes. Like seriously, I think I might think of you as a worse person if I knew you ripped a baseball out of some kid's glove at a baseball game compared to learning about you stealing something from a store. The only thing worse than that is ripping something out of an athlete's hand as they're trying to hand it to a specific kid, like this lady right here did at a recent Kansas City Chiefs game. You're looking at a woman named Nina Miller who has been going on a TikTok defending her stealing a headband from a little kid after Patrick Mahomes tried to hand it to him. It is seriously one of the lamest things I have ever seen an adult do, so here we are. That being said, let's not waste any more time. Let's see what Nina has to say. Please subscribe. So just for context, this is the video, and you can see that Patrick Mahomes clearly is trying to hand his headband to this child. I feel like the video evidence is enough. You can see him clearly reaching it to this kid's hand, but for some reason that's not enough for you. I have never in my life seen an athlete purposefully give his gear to somebody wearing merch head to toe for the other team. This lady is obviously a Giants fan, so while we're probably never going to get an official statement from Patrick Mahomes, I think it's pretty easy to decipher who he's trying to hand this headband to, between what appears to be a 10-year-old child wearing Chiefs gear who he walked up to and a grown woman wearing Giants gear who he did not even look at. Not exactly a mystery, but maybe Nina sees it differently.
Listen, I gotta make something straight. I did not steal a headband from a little kid. I just need to explain myself because everyone's having heart failure over this. You just need to understand, I'm at a football game. Last 2 minutes of the game, I allowed many people to come and sit down next to me or stand up or whatever you want to say. But I paid for my damn tickets. I paid. Well, Michael paid. All the same money. We paid for our tickets. It was 2 rows back. I went all the way in the front.
Wait, what? First of all, Nina, it doesn't really fucking matter where your seat is. Once the game's over, you can't like govern where people are. The seat is for the game, not for after the game. But am I hearing you correctly? You're making a big deal about how people went up to the field. I'm assuming like your argument here is going to end up being that the kid shouldn't have been there to begin with. But you just said you were 2 rows back. So if that's what you're saying, why did you move up? Do you think you're like queen of the stadium and you get to decide where people are? What do you mean you allowed people to be around you?
People were coming from all over, probably the nosebleeds. I don't know if that kid was from the nosebleeds. I don't know if those were his seats or whatever. But people were saying, could we come and sit over there, stand over there? And I was saying, yeah, sure, whatever. Last 2 minutes of the game, they were all KC fans because the Giants lost, so all the Giants fans left. But I wanted to stay there and see if anyone's going to come down. Michael stood 2 rows behind me. Couldn't have even seen me because so many people were around standing up.
So again, I can't really tell what she's saying here. I can't tell if she's saying she had the seats right at the edge of the stadium or if she moved up after the fact. Either way, it doesn't really matter. Once the game is over, you don't get to like push people out of your seats. They can stand next to you. They can do whatever they want. I don't even think that you technically have any say over your seat once like the regulation's over. It's for the game, not for after the game. Either way, don't know why she thinks she's like commissioner of who gets to stand where in an NFL stadium.
At the ending of the game, the KC players was coming. Not gonna lie, what's his face? McDuff, I think his name is, came right to me to give me his gloves. But I was looking behind him and was looking at Mahomes, and I was screaming, Mahomes, Mahomes. He like sort of got upset. Looked at me and said, I'm not Mahomes. So he gave the gloves to the next door little girl next to me. She started crying. I felt bad for her and I was rubbing her back. I said, "Are you okay? Don't worry about it, baby girl. They're just people. Don't cry."
My God, it's like listening to a South Park character. Again, no, McDuffie was not trying to hand you his gloves. Why does this woman think that the opposing team were trying to give her all their fucking gear? And then I truly can't understand what she's trying to imply with the whole like little girl crying stuff. My instincts tell me that she thinks the little girl felt bad because in her mind everybody's trying to give her their gear. So she thinks that the little girl's crying because she feels bad that she got the gloves instead of her, which if that's what she's saying, that's just like obviously not what happened. She probably cried because she got to interact with a player she liked and she got some gloves. And then if she's not saying that and she's just saying like you shouldn't cry because they're just people, if they're just people, why were you willing to steal a headband from a child? Nothing she's saying is making sense.
I am not a thief. That little boy, when Mahomes came, if you look at the video, both of our hands was on it.
For context, she included that clip on her own. That's not in my editing. And you can see it even better from this angle. Mahomes is clearly handing this shit to the kid. This is just delusional behavior.
He was right to the left of me. I didn't look in Mahomes' eyes to see where is he looking. I just seen he's handing out something. I put my hand, both of our hands was on it. I took it. If he was 20 years old, would it even matter? If he was a 20-year-old man and both of our hands was on it, and if he would have took it away from me, would have been like, oh, you should have gave it to the woman. So if it was a guy and I'm a girl, then he should have gave it to the girl?
No. What are you talking about? I don't care if it was an 80-year-old retired Navy SEAL. A player is not handing his shit to an opposing team's fan. That's just not happening. Let the fans of the players take the gifts from the players. Like, of all people to want something from, I feel like Patrick Mahomes is the last fucking player on earth that any other NFL fan other than a Chiefs fan wants anything from. Anybody who's not a Chiefs fan already hates the Chiefs to begin with. Why would you want a player's personal item? Unless you're planning on reselling it, you were just stealing shit to steal shit.
But because he's a 10-year-old little boy or 8-year-old or whatever, how old he is, I should have gave it to him. But I didn't even know. Why didn't they stop me and say, hey, yo, bitch, give it to my son or my brother? But no one didn't say nothing to me. I turned around, I walked away. I seen Mahomes. That's who I wanted to see. Why no one didn't say anything to me? But now you are posting it 1 week later? Telling me that I'm a thief? I'm not a thief.
Man, you just love to be wrong, huh? 2 seconds, maybe 1.5 after you took it from Mahomes, the kid said this.
Yo, she just stole that from me.
If that's all it was going to take, why didn't you turn around and hand it back? Crazy thing to post online with your full chest when I'm sure you've seen this video. You knew the kid said this.
I'm not. All you had to do was, guess what? Maybe DM me privately and tell me, you know what? Mahomes tried to give it to my son or my brother or whoever the hell he is to you. Look at this video. Look at, you put your hands on top of my son's hands and then you took it. You're older, you're stronger. You could have grabbed it more than he could have. Maybe I would have felt bad. But now you're trying to embarrass me. I don't think so. Okay. It is what it is. Make your son a tough man. Because we're trying to make everyone a little too weak in this world today in 2025.
Oh my God, shut the fuck up. You're stealing things from children and you're talking about people who are too weak? That's the lamest shit I've ever heard come out of a human being's mouth. The person who steals things from children is complaining about people being too weak. Clearly you like weak people existing so you can exploit them. You also just make yourself sound like a fucking dumbass because again, the kid did say something to you, but based off the way you speak, I'm guessing you were just too busy off in La La Land to hear anything anybody was saying to you.
It is what it is. You don't get everything you life happens. Do you know how many times I took my sons to baseball games when they were young? They would have catch the ball and then men would have came and took it out of their hands. But my point is, I'm 112 pounds soaking wet. I was right there by myself. My son wasn't with me. Michael wasn't with me. If these guys would have came and told me, hey, yo, bitch, that's my son's, you think I would have said anything? I would have got scared because I'm all by myself. Michael wasn't with me. I would have took that little headband and I would have said, oh, I'm sorry. Here you go. But no one didn't say nothing to me. So Watch the video and you tell me what you guys think.
Are we being serious? You heard it here first, folks. If you're not willing to walk up to a woman and scream at her and call her a bitch, then you're soft. If you're not willing to scare a random woman into submission so your child can get something that they want, you're what's wrong with the world. I mean, holy fucking shit, do you even hear yourself? What a great example to set for your children. Anyways, the second she got like a single ounce of real pushback on that video, which I don't even know why she uploaded it because I doubt anybody would have ever known who she was if she didn't, she immediately folded and released the worst apology video ever.
Guys, I just want to talk to you guys for 1 minute from my heart. At the game, with all the noise and all the excitement, I honestly thought that Pat Mahomes was giving me the headband. I reached for it without thinking. Later, I found out that it was meant for that little boy for his 10-year-old birthday. When I found out, I felt horrible because I don't want to ruin anyone's little time at the game and ruin their little birthday. To the young boy, I'm sorry that I ruined your moment. You should have had your moment for your birthday. I want to send back your headband so you could celebrate your day the way that you were supposed to.
So this would have been the most nothing burger situation of all time if this was her first video. People wouldn't have cared. Yeah, stadiums are super fucking loud. I could believe if this was the first thing she said, then maybe she just grabbed it without thinking. But that's clearly not the case when you're talking about how 10-year-old boys are too soft now, and it was obviously meant for you. If you're gonna come in as hot as you did with your first video on this, you can't decide later to take this route. It just doesn't work. Anyways, the rest of this video is just typical I did something stupid in public and now I don't want people to be mad at me for it mumbo jumbo. Talks about how she's a mom, how she's a Christian, how everybody makes mistakes. And like, yeah, that would have been fair if she just uploaded this first, because people on the internet can be quick to go crazy. But again, when you make a video talking about how every single Chiefs player was trying to give you all their gear and people need to parent their children better and make them harder and less soft, you're kind of asking for it. Well, guys, what are your thoughts? This is one of those things where like I can't even begin to put myself in the shoes of the person I'm talking about, so I feel like I end up being a little more harsh because I just can't relate at all. But I mean, I feel like in this situation it's kind of warranted. Stealing something from a child is one of those things that unfortunately is just never really justified, so it's pretty easy to just kind of go ham on somebody when they're like, oh, they're making the kids soft, that's why it's okay for me to steal things from a kid, from a player I probably don't even like. I think these two ended up going on like Inside Edition or something and squashing their beef, but I don't really care. I don't think she should be let off that easily. Call me crazy. So yeah.